thanks to the supporters of channel member Ollie Gunnock Fam. No, I never expected to make it to the second division either. It is bonkers. It's expensive, isn't it? I do kind of get now why you're looking to sell the club. Oh, you're officially in one of those not looking to sell the club phases. You are really still looking to sell the club though, aren't you? Hello and welcome to part 52 of Holiday Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, it is our season review and transfer special at the end of our promotion season. We are now in the second tier in Spain. What a time to be alive. For some reason, the messages have come through in a weird order, so we're starting with the all-time best 11 rather than the season review. We've also already had to offer Zafra a new contract, one of many contracts that is going to be up over the course of this summer. If we look at the state of the squad and the amount of players who are out of contract this summer. I don't know why it's not letting me highlight all. Let's try that again. All of those players are out of contract. So all the loanees are going back, but also a lot of our youngsters are out of contract. And then we've also got a bunch of players who aren't earning enough money to be allowed to play at this level. Rodrigo, Ivan Mutt, Alex Boxall. None of them are actually allowed to play in this division based on their salary, so they need to have pay rises as well. The rules of the league state that it is a minimum salary of £1,300 a week for full registered players, and then players 17 and under can be on less, but we haven't got many 17 and unders these days, so we're going to have to offer some contract renewals. It does kind of take the edge off of the lovely new wage budget we were given at the end of the previous episode, because I imagine it's going to be very similar to our last promotion, and we're going to use all of this extra wage budget and then some just renewing player contracts. I don't actually expect to do much in the way of transfers this summer. I think any new players coming in are likely to be freebie loans, which I think we're still allowed to do. Who knows? Let's see what happens, though. So that's our all-time best 11 based on players who've been added in this season. So Pascual has made it in as our best striker ever. Like I say, all you need to look at when you're picking a striker is finishing. It's the only attribute that matters. It's all I've always said. And yeah, he's clearly the demonstration of that. And he's been scoring goals for fun for the last couple of years. Better than Little Kev, apparently. Romero, as the goalkeeper, he is now back down way below we are. And then Zafra, Joffrey, Ivan are all still here. Ezra Carrington, let's see how he's got on at Portsmouth. Played 31 games in the Championship for Portsmouth last year, so I don't think there's any chance of him ever coming back. And then the midfield is Alex Boxall, Rabiu, and of course Kukureya, who we released and retired after being released by us. That'll teach him a lesson. He shouldn't have asked for as much money as he did, because if he'd have accepted a slightly cheaper contract, he'd probably still be in the team. And then the remainder, again, are all still here. Martinez, Perez and Pascual as players. And of course, Ivan Fakal is our under-19s manager these days, despite only being 33 years old still. Now we can get into the season review, and of course the season review contains a beautiful trophy because we are champions of the third tier. Signing of the season has gone to the only permanent signing we made last summer, Eloy Busquets. I would have personally given it to a loanee, but I guess we can't. But Leandro Rosa was fantastic. 12 goals, 5 assists and a 7.1 average rating. If we can get him back on loan again, that would be beautiful. I don't really rate my chances though, and I, like I say, expect another summer like this, and I think we've reached the point now where money is so tight we are very much going to have to rely on our own youth coming through and just filling gaps here and there with loans. I don't think we're going to be bringing much in the way of signings into the club, because we'll have a look at our financial position compared to the rest of the league in a minute, but I'm going to assume, having not looked yet, it's not pretty. So Mrs. Wearmouth wanted us to reach the playoffs. We, of course, did win the league, and it was never in doubt. It was easy all the way through. And then finances, hopefully, will start to improve now we've been promoted. Hopefully, we only get 1 year of really disastrous finances, because I think there is prize money and TV money in the second tier. We'll double check that in a moment as well. Sponsorships slowly starting to increase as well. And Rabiu now finally selling more shirts than anybody else. This is our team of the year. Rodrigo in goal, a back four of Zafra, Galdino, Ivan and Busquets, Koulibaly and Rabiot in midfield, Martinez, Perez, Rosa and Sandoval behind Pascual up front. Alex Boxall, of course, missing out because he missed a lot of the season through injury. And Ivan Mutt, probably a little bit hard done by to not be in on either of those wings, with both of those wingers having pretty disappointing seasons, certainly performance-wise. I mean, Sandoval weighed in with 11 assists, which is pretty useful, but neither of them particularly consistent. Gorka wins Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year. Last time we'll be able to win Young Player of the Year, but does win Player of the Year as well. Galdino got Goal of the Season. Top scorer, of course, is Pascual. Sandoval most assists. Ivan Luis most man of the matches. And Pascual again, highest average rating. And then we had a couple of club records broken this year as well from a couple of the original legends. So Ivan Facal's appearance record has been broken by his successor as captain, Joseph Rabiot, who's now 24 years old and has played 198 games for the club. And Ignacio Pearce's all-time goal-scoring record has been broken by Ivan Luis, who is now on 68 goals, but is out of contract. And I would expect, unless he massively lowers his expectations, Gorka will go back and break that again next year. So we'll see that double broken with bells on. The Dynamic Manager timeline looking dynamic as ever, which is lovely to see. And then we'll just flick through some of this stuff. We picked up a few new social media followers, which is all I really care about in any walk of life. Mrs. Wearmouth wants us to attempt to avoid relegation. That's that one where it's fine if you actually get relegated. I'm not going to get sacked if we get relegated. She's also not happy we're not playing direct counter-attacking football. We won the league. Does it matter? Does it matter how we scrambled these eggs, Mrs. Wearmouth, as long as they didn't have any shell left in them? As the saying goes, presumably. Rabiot and Boxall still the team leaders. We'll tell the boys they're getting relegated next year. That's going to fill them with all of the joys of spring. Where's that one as an option? Considering developing and refining our approach, best chance. Brilliant comes right. And even though we'll probably come back down, I'm going to give us, we'll try that one. They're satisfied with that. I've literally just told them we're probably getting relegated next year, and they're all pretty happy. They are very easily pleased. But what I was going to have a little look at, time for the calculator. Where's the calculator? Where's my phone? Phone incoming. So our new wage budget is, on an annual basis, 37920 times 52. Just shy of £2 million a year. Let's just look at what the lowest wage budget was in the league we're now going into. So if we go into detailed stats, go all the way down to salary spend. So there's clubs spending 10 times what we've got as our budget. Espanyol had a budget of 21 million. The lowest budget was Salamanca, who had a £2.24 million budget and got relegated, as you would imagine. The next one up, 3.6 million, 3.75, 4 million. So a lot of the teams that got relegated or were in a relegation battle had twice as much money to spend on players as we're going to have, which is just super duper. So if we have a look at those boys who are out of contract, I mean, a lot of these are just going to need to get new deals. I mean, Pascal's out of contract as well, which I don't. So Ivan Luis is not out of contract. It's Gorka who's out of contract. I had it the wrong way around. So actually, Gorka, obviously, first order of business, needs a new contract. But look at how much money he wants. Oh, my word. Oh, dear. Oh, dear me. Okay. This is problematic. I mean, we can afford to do it, but we can only afford to do it for him. We can't put a match highest earner clause, and we're going to have to try and push him down a little bit as well, because this is absurd, the amount of money he's asking for. That would be like 20% of our wage bill. Yeah, we're losing Gorka. I just can't justify paying him £6,000 a week. We've already offered Zafra, I think, 2.5, 3 grand. Oh my word! Right, the other youngsters. We've got to build around the youngsters. So Dan Grocott, I mean, you don't understand the rules there, Dan. You've got to be paid more. Oh. Okay, Dan. We need to pay you more than that, though. You see? Because of the rules. Let us not forget the rules. So I'm going to hold fire on you. Same with Fred Steebling. Oh, I don't know what to do with any of them. Well, then, I need to have a ponder and work out what I'm going to do. This is going to be a fun window and a fun season. Ha 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 ha. Look at me enjoying myself. Well, it's the last day of Gorka's contract and we are in disaster land. He wants far too much money. We just can't give it to him. He's done. Gorka is gone. Hurtado is gone. Busquets is gone. We have offered some new contracts, but not enough to fill a squad. But in doing so, like I say, we've used up all of our wage budget and then some. We'll hit continue to let the loanees go back. I can't believe we've had to let Gorka go. At least we've got Martinez Perez tied down for 3 more years. That's what the fans really wanted. Imagine being a fan of home. I mean, for context, Gorka wanted $6,000 a week. That's 20% of our wage budget nearly. So there's a line we had to draw somewhere. And clearly it was there. But we are really, really, really going to miss him. Let's get to the point where we can have a look at this squad and I can show you what we've actually got. So, wow. With players having left, I mean, there's the potential to bring some youngsters up as well. Although the problem we've got with the likes of these youngsters is none of them are earning enough money. So we could call Kieran Hodgkinson up into the first team squad. Not allowed to play him because he's not earning enough money. Same with Rob Harley, who we've used in the past, but in order to be allowed to play him, we have to double his salary. And I suspect we can't because we don't have the money for it. But let's get as many of them as possible up into the first team squad, I guess, because we are so light on players. I don't even know who Guillo is. He's a centre-back who we don't pay enough money to. He's to be fair, he's gone out, done the loans. He's gone the Rabiot route. He looks decent. But he's never played for us. Can we really throw £1,300 a week at him? It seems like madness. A lot of these players who've been fringe players for a long time coming up into the first team squad. And then realistically, we need to move some of these 16-year-olds up because we don't. The 16-year-olds, we only have to pay £250 a week. So there's more of a reason to call them up. So let's get the 16-year-olds up here. No, not B squad. Come up to the senior squad. You come up to the senior squad as well. And we'll hit continue. And then we'll work out what we've got. So that is our first team squad. It is a squad of, hold on, it is a squad of 25 players, but with a massive asterisk because 7 of them need a significant pay rise to be allowed to play. So players that are actually earning enough money, we've got a 16-player squad plus 2 youngsters. We obviously haven't done any loans yet, but we are massively over budget. Oh, it's gonna be fine. Look at the state of us. We've got Ivan Luis as our only striker. Well, Fred's here. I mean, the thing is, Fred's here and earning £1,500 a week. It's not enough for him to be a good youngster off the bench getting 3 goals anymore. For £1,500 a week, he needs to score 30 goals based on what we've been used to in the past. We obviously need players throughout this squad. The job now is hope we're allowed to bring in free loans. I don't actually know that we're allowed to. I don't know if we have to pay loans £1,300 a week as well, or what the rule with loans is. It doesn't say. Let's see what happens then, eh? Oh, in some good news, and it is my birthday as well, so this is a birthday present. We get £4.91 million in TV rights this season, which is utterly delicious. The only problem, of course, doesn't make any immediate difference to any of this. In reality, what would happen is we'd probably budget that out over the course of the season and accept that, you know, if this is happening, let's add at least another $1 million into the wage budget this year because we can clearly afford it. But that's not how Football Manager works, boys and girls. So we're still massively over budget and having to make do with what we've got. But we have now had the promotion go through. Not many B teams for the old B bashers at this level, is there? But let's have a look what the media thinks. They don't think we're going to finish rock bottom. That is only because Real Madrid B and Valencia B can't get promoted, though. Otherwise, we are comfortably the worst team in the league. 400-1 for promotion. We are going down with bells on. And I have been alerted to a potential upcoming problem vis-a-vis a wage cap. So we do have a wage cap of 34. To be fair, that doesn't really matter because we're within the wage cap based on the players that we've got selected in the squad at the moment. But of course, there are going to be players here who we can't use because they're not earning enough money, which I am intrigued as to how that works because there's not anyone on there at the moment below. If I've given the likes of Al Star a massive pay rise when I didn't actually need to, if there's a silly rule like, oh, that salary thing's only for new players incoming, the guys who are already here you didn't need to. If I've jumped ahead because people have told me that's what I have to do, I'll be cross. But yeah, as it is at the moment, we can register a squad. We've signed this guy as our backup goalkeeper. I mean, he's 6'4". You can't teach that. He was free, and that is very important at this stage. Well, we have a problem. A really, really big problem because we've brought in some loans, some nice free loans, but we can't register them. Diego Alduin. We can't register unless he meets the minimum wage of £1,285 per week, which he doesn't. He's earning zero with us, £210 a week from his parent club. Because he's not EU, even though he's under 18, because he's not EU, we can't register him, so he can't be registered. This guy, I don't understand why can't be registered because he's 16 years old and Spanish. So on that basis, he doesn't need to be registered, but he's still got the unregistered symbol next to him because he doesn't earn enough money. But he doesn't need to because he's EU and under 18. But the fact that he's got the unregistered thing will mean we can't use him. Whereas this guy, this different 16-year-old Spanish player, I mean, is it because at his parent club he's earning 13 grand a week? So it's not even working out based on what we're paying them, it's what they're earning at their parents' club. So because he's earning 13 grand a week, we don't need to register him. We can register him. We don't need to register him. But his 13 grand a week doesn't count towards our salary cap, even though it counts in other areas. Fabio Ferreira, can't register him because he's earning not enough money. He's Uruguayan. We've got another young goalkeeper. Bottom line, we can't register enough squad. Something that confuses me a little bit is we've got what I'm going to call the Harley Gatford situation, because Rob Harley is 20 years old and earns £625 a week, but we can register him. Gary Gatford is 21 years old, earns £250 a week. We can't register him unless his salary goes up to £1,285 a week, i.e. about double what Rob Harley's earning, but we can register Rob Harley. They're both over 18. If we check the league rules are players 17 years and older. I mean, even this. So if you're 17 or older, you have to be earning £250 a week. And if you're registered, you have to be earning £1,300 a week. So we go back here again. And once again, I look at this guy and I'm like, well, he's not 17 and older. So he doesn't need £250 a week. He doesn't need to be registered. So he doesn't need the other amount, but he's still showing as unregistered. Oh my word. So ultimately, we can only register 15 players. One of them is Fred Stiebling, who's out for 3 months. So we've got 14 players. The media really don't rate us. I will level with you, boys and girls. I am not playing for another season of this save with a squad of 14 players just to lose 5-0 every week. So we're going to continue forward until the first day of the new season. But if this doesn't magically resolve itself, we were talking the other day about how and when to end the series. If we don't stumble across a resolution before the 17th of August, I think we're done. It's not the way I would want to end it. And I think in our heads and in our hearts, we'll just remember we won promotion and it ended there and none of this ever happened. Gorka never left. Everything's fine. But, yeah, we'll see how this progresses. But it, at this stage, is not looking good. We're still over the wage budget. We're still frantically trying to loan players out. I mean, the Rob Harley situation, again, I'm on the verge of loaning him out. But if we loan him out, we've only got 13 fit players. Al Star, we're on the verge of loaning out. But if we loan both of them out, we have 12 fit players. But we also come back under the wage budget so we can potentially sign somebody. Oh. Like I say, we'll see if it resolves itself. But this is not looking good. Well, it's safe to say the save is completely broken, but I think it has magically resolved itself. We loaned out, resolved itself to a point. We have no idea the quality of the players we've brought in, but we loaned out the guys who we were planning on loaning out. They've both gone, and they both went for their salary paid, which brought us back down below our wage budget, which opened us up to the world of being able to sign players on loan and making wage contributions for them. So we started to do that. And in fact, this guy, we haven't even paid a wage contribution to, but I think I've figured out what's going on. Because he's earning more than the minimum salary at his parent club, we can get away with not paying him anything. So this is the key. He just has to be earning £1,300 a week from somewhere. We can give him a job like cleaning the pool at the hotel at the end of a busy work day, as long as he's getting £1,300 a week. It doesn't have to be Holme FC who are paying him. So he's earning minimum wage, so we can have him in. So he's in. This guy, we have a left back as well. We didn't really need one, but we were just signing anyone and everyone. We are paying a little bit of a contribution towards him, but again, he's over the limit. He's registered. This guy, 16 years old, Haitian. He must have a second nationality. Spanish. We didn't have to register him. It turns out the other young Spanish striker, don't need to worry about him, don't need to register him, even though it was showing us before we had to. We don't. This guy, he's in. He's earning more than that at Vallecano. Do I look Spanish to you? So we don't need to register him. So actually, despite all those fears, the only two players in this squad of 25 that we can't register are the two 18-year-old non-EU right-backs that I brought in that we may as well just bin off and send down to the B team because we're not going to be able to use them. So they can get kicked out of here. And we have a lot of loans. I mean, 3 of them are called Ivan, but we have a lot of loans. But we do now have a squad of 23 players. We've put a team together. I have no expectation that it's going to be good enough to survive in this league, but it is a team. The save continues. If, and it is a big if we can stay in this league this season, the money starts to resolve itself. We've already seen the projection. That TV money kicks in. And we'll have more money next summer. We'll have a higher wage cap next summer, and we'll have a chance. That was the point. Back there 5 minutes ago, that was the point. We could have given up on the save, and we haven't. We're going to win the bleeping league. We've somehow turned this ship around. It's going to be very interesting to see how we do on the first day of the season. I haven't even looked at who we're playing because I'd kind of convinced myself we weren't going to be playing it. We're on the telly against Pamplona. Pamplona are quite good. We're going to learn a lot in the next episode. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.